What's going on, everybody? Happy Monday. I hope all of you are having a great day so far. Now, this is your third stimulus check update and third stimulus package update. Congress is close to approving another stimulus package with a new direct payment of $1,400. By the way, everybody, do you think that a third stimulus check should be $2,000 instead of $1,400? Leave a comment down below saying yes or no.
Of course, and that our constituents and people across this country put Democrats in power to, among many other things, establish a $15 minimum wage. We have a responsibility to do that. I do not believe that the parliamentarians' ruling should be really an obstacle to that, and I don't believe that we should be really tied up about this.
And also, folks, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications. This weekend, I will be announcing the new winners of a free $100 Amazon gift card. And if you want to enter to win my free Amazon gift card giveaway, then all you have to do is subscribe to my channel and turn on post notifications. And don't forget to give this video a like.
Those are the only two paths that we have in order to actually create substantive change in the United States, and that is what people across the country sent us here to do. So we should have our number one priority to be on delivering and making good on the promises that we made, and not allowing these procedural obstacles, which can be overridden, to get in our way.
I believe that our politicians must pass this third stimulus check and send out the $1,400 and even $2,000. Because after all, we were promised a $2,000 stimulus check. The good American people need help, and they need help now. If you agree with me, then leave a comment down below saying I agree. Now for your stimulus check news.
Listen, I think that if any, not just Senator Manchin, but any person who thinks that a $15 minimum wage is the crazy socialist agenda is living in a dystopian capitalist nightmare. And we should not prop that up. We should not continue that. People are sleeping in their cars. They can't afford baby formula. There are basic goods that people can't afford to live on $7.25. It is deeply, deeply shameful that we are even having this conversation, because when you take the minimum wage from several decades ago and you actually account for inflation and productivity gains to today, it should be $24 an hour.
Now, folks, the new round of stimulus payments are part of the nearly $2 trillion relief package that Democrats are pushing to approve within 2 weeks. In addition to sending out $1,400 stimulus checks to individuals and dependent, the relief bill that is now with the Senate is set to renew unemployed workers' benefits all the way through August, increase funding for vaccine distribution, and potentially raise the federal minimum wage rate to $15 an hour.
This work period. These cabinet positions and agencies have an immense influence over the policies of the United States, impacting hundreds of millions of American lives. At a time of acute national challenge, we need qualified leaders atop our federal agencies, and fast. And that's what we intend to do. On COVID, while the Senate will be busy fulfilling its constitutional duty to advise and consent on presidential nominees, Democrats remain hard at work preparing the desperately needed COVID relief bill. Our country is still in the throes of crisis. Yesterday, we passed that grim milestone, 500,000 deaths, a towering and incomprehensible figure. Millions of Americans have reported being thousands of dollars behind on rent, on utilities. Small businesses are hanging on for dear life. Vaccinating 330 million Americans as efficiently as possible is one of the most crucial and complex undertakings of our times. What we need to do now is put our foot on the gas to end the pandemic as quickly as possible, get our economy back to normal.
Early Saturday morning, the House of Representatives already sent out the budget reconciliation that is being used to pass Joe Biden's relief bill. Now, if the bill is passed in the Senate, by March 14th, the IRS will start processing the next round of stimulus checks shortly thereafter. For most Americans, that news will trigger a familiar stimulus check question, which is, how much money will I get with the third stimulus check?
So we need other Democrats to understand how deep of a compromise $15 an hour is. And by the way, this bill has a multi-year phase-in as well. So even if we pass this, to progressives' discontent, by the way, we are talking about a multi-year phase-in, which will, really chip away even more. So $15 for his, as you mentioned, his own constituents believe in a $15 minimum wage. In almost every pocket of this country, you cannot afford rent if you are making minimum wage. And in the United States of America, you should, if you are working a full-time job, you should be able to afford to live.
And repair the damage that's been done. That's what the American Rescue Plan is all about. It'll deliver the resources to keep small businesses afloat, Americans in their homes, teachers, firefighters, and other essential employees in the public sector on the job. It'll send a direct check to Americans struggling with a once-in-a-lifetime financial burden. It'll boost vaccine distribution, and it'll provide funding and guidance for schools to reopen as quickly and safely as possible. That last point in particular should appeal to my Republican friends who have been raising concern about school closures. We all want the schools to reopen safely. We are all worried about the cost of virtual learning on children and parents. The solution is simple. It's not giving a speech here on the Senate floor. It's not criticizing teachers or school administrators. It's giving school districts the funding they need to reopen safely. It's expensive to reopen safely during the COVID crisis. We want to do it as quickly as possible.
Well, according to the bill passed by the House, there's a $1,400 third stimulus check base amount that every eligible person will receive. For married couples that file a joint tax return, the base is $2,800. Then for each dependent in your family, an additional $1,400 will be tacked on. And remember, folks, that unlike the extra amount for first and second round stimulus checks, the additional amount will be included on third round stimulus checks for any dependent, regardless of their age. So for example, you'll get an extra $1,400 for older dependent children, or elderly parents who are living with you. As with the first two stimulus payments, third round stimulus checks will be reduced potentially to zero for people reporting an adjusted gross income above a certain amount on their latest tax return. That threshold jumps to $112,500 for head of household filers. Now for the latest unemployment news. The stimulus bill extends unemployment benefits all the way to August 29th and increases aid by $400 a week. The Senate will now consider legislation. Democrats in the chamber can pass a bill with a simple majority using a budget rule conciliation. Here's the latest news on SSI and SSDI. SSI, or Supplemental Security Income, is a federal income supplement program funded by general tax revenues, not Social Security taxes, and it provides cash to meet basic needs for food, clothing, and shelter. You log onto the SSA.gov. A link will take you to the benefit eligibility screening tool, and by taking 5-10 minutes to answer a few questions, you can find out if you're eligible for SSI or other benefits.